Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Baiq Niraswari Yolanda Fathin from Senior High School SMAN1PRAYA, and today our motion is this house will abolish primary and middle school years that group in children based on age and instead group them by competency and intelligence. So I would like to explain our definitions. What is the school? Schools are educational institutions that are formal, non-formal, and informal, where the establishment is carried by the state or private sector with the aim of providing, teaching, managing, and educating students through guidance provided by educators or teachers. Now, what is the meaning of primary school? Primary school is the education of children aged 7 to 13 years as education at the basic level, which is developed in accordance with educational units, regional potential, and social culture. In elementary school, students are required to master all areas of study, how to solve problems. Next, what is the meaning of middle education? Middle education is a continuum of basic education which consists of general secondary educational and vocational secondary educations. The grouping of students is also based on the fact that students are continually growing and developing. The growth and development of students is different from one another, so that the rapid development of students does not interfere with slow as students and vice versa. So students do not interfere with fast ones. The grouping of students is carried out not infrequently in teaching using the classical system, so students will not be able to catch up with fast students. Therefore, the grouping of students is important and must be paid class attention, because grouping will influence the ongoing learning process and the success of maximum learning outcomes. We in our goal in ideal world, we will abolish primary and middle school year that group children based on age and instead group them by competency and intelligence. To gather students based on interest and talent and age is not benchmark. We attempt to apply grouping based on characteristics. The grouping of students based on characteristics can be broken down in several types. Namely, the first one is grouping based on interest. What interest? Grouping is grouping based on interest of students. Students who interested in certain subject, in certain activities, and on certain topics, and certain them form into a group. Next, grouping based on special needs is grouping based on the special needs of students. Students who have actually joined groups can form new groups to learn specific skills. Team grouping. What is team grouping? Is a group that is formed because two or more students want to work and study together to solve specific problems. Next, tutorial grouping is a grouping in which students together with the teachers plan their group activities. Thus, what is done by the group together with the teachers has been agreed beforehand. Between one group and another, the activities can be different because they both have the anatomy to determine their respective groups. Research grouping. Next, research grouping. Research grouping is a grouping in which two or more students work on a particular topic to be reported in the front of the class. How to cultivate present and word system they are used depends on the achievement of group members. Next, full class is grouping in which students study and gain experience in the arts together. For example, is group to the practice drama, music, video, dance, and so etc. So on. Combined class grouping, what is the mean is grouping which two or more classes are gathered in a room to watch film, slides, audio, visual, so on. Students who have similarities based on characteristics can be grouped in the same group, so the learning process will run more optimally. Next, grouping based on the reality of school education, elementary without level. Is elementary school without this level provide the wildest opportunity for students to take subjects based on the abilities of each individual student. Even students can take subjects that may be the same as those whose entry is not the same. Next, multi-grade and multi-age grouping is multi-grade and multi-grade. Such grouping can occur in schools that use a level system. In this grouping, students of different age are grouped in the same place. They interact and learn together. Next, the dual progress plan grouping is a dual progress grouping system. Such as a grouping system is intended to address individual difference in ability at each age and at each level. Each student is given the opportunity to do the task of the teacher according to their respective ability. Placement of a group students on a teacher self-contained classroom is of a group students in a teacher, meanwhile another group of students in places in another teacher. Team learning is a group in which there is group students are taught by teacher as team. In this learning, the teacher limits himself to capacity of his expertise and absolutely does not teach what is beyond his expertise. This can happen because it is the uncommon subject or field of study require a variety expertise. Next, ability grouping based on students' ability. Students who have the same level of ability are placed in the same group. Students with equal high abilities are placed in group with high abilities, while students with low abilities are placed in groups of students to low abilities. And the last one is grouping based on the reality of school education can be done with a level system, a system without levels, and grouping based on the abilities possessed by students. That's all for me. Thank you. Udah Pak.
Berapa menit deh?
Lama.